Coach will start with an opening statement and then take questions.
All right, well, it was good enough to win, and that's about the nicest thing I can say about it. It was good enough to win. It wasn't, I don't feel like we played up to the standard that we've set for our team, but I'm glad we won the game. And we had some things that we did or didn't do during the game that I feel like at this point in the season shouldn't be taking place, like jumping off sides and lining up in the wrong formation and miscommunicating on calls and just little stuff like that. And we've got to get it corrected. Unfortunately, it wasn't so bad that we lost the game, but I felt like there was things we could do collectively a lot better. There were some really good individual efforts, some really good plays by guys on the team, and some really good plays by some guys that made some errors too. So I really challenged our team this week to try to play our very best football, play the best that we can play. And at this point in the season, really, we need to be doing that. If we're gonna accomplish the goals that we've still got out there, we've got to be playing our best football. So I don't think we did that today, but it was good enough to win, and we made some plays, and hopefully it's something we can get corrected and play better next week. We'll certainly have to. We got an outstanding undefeated team coming in here next week.
Coach, maybe just starting with the defense, held them to 159 yards, no touchdowns. You stopped that drive early after the punt fumble, held them to a field goal. Did you feel good about how the defense played overall?
Yeah, there was some really good stops in there. The drive for a touchdown in the fourth quarter was a little unnerving. We had them in a third down. They hit a screen pass and gained some yards, and then they hit another screen pass and got it down in there and then threw a ball down to the 1 yard line and kind of had the guy surrounded, and he made the catch. There were some good stops, but again, I guess I look overall. We're averaging 31 points a game. We got 31 points today. They were averaging 14 points a game. They about got their 14 points a game. So it was a pretty average game, pretty average day all the way around. So that's kind of the way I feel about our performance. It was just average. And probably the job I did getting these guys ready to go this week is probably about dead average. So I got to do a better job next week.
It looked like Lafayette was trying to stop your dive play early on, especially, but you were able to make some plays out to Hobbs and Asbury, and you got a couple of passes to Hayes and Coates, and the nice pass to Holt. Were you able to get the ball out to the perimeter today, you felt?
Some. I thought we had a couple pitch plays where it was Kelvin made some good decisions and got the ball out there. And one we got out there in the fourth quarter real late. It was a late pitch, and it was a third down play, kind of a long yardage play. We pitched to Asbury and made a nice run. And so there were some good plays on the perimeter. We were getting some yards inside. We just never broke any of those wide open, and we just couldn't quite get past that second level. The linebackers, the safeties falling back in there to pop one of the fullbacks loose for a long one, and I wish we could have done that to kind of break it open a little bit.
And all of a sudden, Peyton Reeder's in at center. Bryce Allen was not. What is Bryce's situation?
He had hurt his foot in the game, so hopefully it'll be something that isn't that big of a deal. But it was painful, and so he came out in the second half. He's in street clothes. So, but I was just down in the training room and saw him. We're going to get it checked out tomorrow and see what's going on. And we can't see what's getting behind the skin, so they got machines to take care of that. And we'll figure out what's going on with that. Hopefully he'll be able to play. He's certainly a big part of our offense.
Coach, how important was a block kick in the third quarter?
Well, it was a big play in the game at that point, just to kind of stretch the lead a little bit. If I recall, it was 17-6 at the time, I think, when we blocked it. So a big play and to be able to get points right there and not have to trot the offense out there. I guess we had for one play. I thought we'd gotten in, but he was down. I saw the replay, and But it's a big play, and special teams is such an important part of the game, and it gets lost a lot of times. They're those golf clap plays. You know, if you snap the ball to your punter and he punts the ball down the field and the guy fair catches it, you get a nice little golf clap. Here we go. And if they punt it to you and you got a decent return and trot the offense out there, good stuff. You know, it's the big plays that make such a difference. And we might give up a big kick return. I was a little disappointed about that. Just not doing a very good job covering that one kick. But we returned with the block kick of our own. I thought that was a big play in the game. And I didn't see exactly what happened. They said it hit Andy Davidson in the helmet. But they were trying to rugby punt, and I think they probably knew we were going to bring some pressure, and we do typically bring pressure a lot on punts, and so they I assume probably thought that rugby punting would keep that guy from getting closer to the line, and he probably just kicked it a little bit low, and Andy happened to be in the kicking lane. So Andy has a way of finding his way back there. He's had his hands on a few during his career, so I was glad to see him get back there again.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Coach, this season, Kelvin Hopkins has shown a better proficiency to throw the ball downfield. In fact, there were 2 or 3 times today that said that his deep pass has set you up deep in opponent's territory. So how pleased have you been with his development in terms of throwing downfield?
He came to us as a really good thrower. He did that a lot in his offense in high school, and really he's capable of making any throw that we ask him to. And even the one that we didn't complete, he hit the receiver right in the chest with it. It just kind of went through his hands. So he's very accurate. He's got a very strong arm, a quick release. He's as good a thrower as we've ever had in this offense.
You know, you mentioned special teams before. I think one thing that gets lost in some people is how John Abercrombie has stepped up so far this year. I believe he's 7-7 on field goals so far this season, and you guys have been getting some good kickoffs too. How important overall has the special teams been to your success this season?
I think special teams is important every year, and we use the best guys we've got on our team to play in those positions. Those aren't duties that we just give to the guys to say, hey, you know, really like to reward this guy with some playing time, and we toss him in there on the kickoff team. We try to find the right guys to play each of those positions. John's done a really good job kicking field goals. Sawyer's has kicked off really well. He had a strong wind in his face. We chose to kick off into the wind to start the second half. I like to get the wind in the fourth quarter if I can, and so he had a pretty good strong wind in his face on those kickoffs in the third quarter. But I think he's done a really nice job. The special teams in general, there's some things that we've done really well, and look at our production. It's been good, and there's other areas where I'd like to do a better, see our team do a better job, and we continue to work on those things. But for the most part, we cover kicks well. That's why I was disappointed about the one today, just having to pop it out of there. I think we had a guy in position. I'll see him on film and know better. But after that one, we changed up our scheme just a little bit. We tweaked it, and I thought that helped us cover the kicks better.
Headed into Colgate, what is the one thing you want to improve on from this week headed into next week?
Our focus on fundamental details, and that to me is where the game is won. Just whether it be an assignment or it's communication, or if it's a step or hand placement or pad level or whatever it may be, there's things we can do a lot better. So it's hard to say there's one thing, but I think just attention to the small details is something I'd like to see us improve on. And if we do that, I think we'll play better, or at least closer to the standard that we have for ourselves.
And just, Coach, Kalen Holt took a beautiful pitch play for the second touchdown. Good timing on that, and then he took a hit later in the game on that pass play to the 2. How is he?
He's fine. He got on that play. I think as he was going to the ground, the defender turned to defend the pass and stepped on his shin. So he's kind of on his backside, and his feet Wicked Witch of the West or East or whatever underneath it, and he was vulnerable, and those cleats coming down right on his shin bone, and tore him open pretty good, but he's all right. He's a tough guy. You'd have to cut his leg off to keep him out of the game. He's a tough guy.
And Coach, just being able at this point in the season, you have a chance to go undefeated at home for 2 years in a row next week. How does this feel about the maturity, how far this program has been able to come in the last couple of years?
I'm really proud of our players. They're the ones that have done it. They got to go out there and play every week and defend that turf. And it's not easy to win. And I guess probably, I'm guilty of this a lot. Just not jumping up and down, being excited. We just found a way to win the game. And more about the way we play, the standard that we have for our team, and I want us to play the best we can play. And so I'm hopeful that we'll do that next weekend for these seniors, so they can go out and leave Mikey Stadium with something that they've passed along to the younger guys, just a standard for excellence. And I think that's what this senior class has done. They've been very successful the last 3 years. We've been very successful here at home, and I want to see that continue. And the game next week is not going to be an easy one. They're a really good football team, very well coached. They're going to be a very confident football team. They got a lot to play for. The FCS playoffs are coming up here in a couple of weeks, and I'm sure an undefeated team with a win over Army would look really good to the FCS selection committee and them getting a high seed, which I'm sure they're very conscious of. I've coached at that level, and I know. So we're going to get their best shot, and hopefully we'll improve on the things that we need to, that we didn't do as well today, and play our very best. And I'd really like that for our seniors, to see them go out of Mikey Stadium having played a really, really good football game.
Okay, thanks.